Hello guys, and welcome back again to another video. I'm so glad you could make it to join me on this one. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you some of the reasons why African Americans move back to America after a while in Africa. Okay, you guys, so there have been a lot of negative comments about Africa from the African Americans, okay, that actually left Africa after a while living in Africa, whether they left Ghana or South Africa or Kenya, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and all of those places. Okay, and in today's video, I feel like I should, talk about it because they are actually having so many misunderstandings in their comments, and I really need to let you all know some of the reasons why these people actually left Africa. Just like every other part of the world or every other continent of the world, Africa is one of the continents in the world, and Africa is a place that is still growing. Africa is an upcoming continent. It's a continent that is still pushing, whether in economy, whether in security, whether in standard of living, cost of living, and every other part of life that you can actually assume or experience. So there are some things that African Americans who are actually coming into Africa are not doing right, that is making them to actually leave after a while. And number one of that is that they don't do an adequate research. Now, you guys, if you are coming or planning to come to Africa or to come to any country in Africa at all, you need to do your research. Doing your research is super important because it will let you know what you are getting yourself into. You need to do your research about the continent as a whole, about the particular country that you are coming to, why you are coming to that country, what are the things you stand to experience when you come to that country, what is the country's economic life, what is the country's cost of living, what are the things they do, how is the security in that particular country. All of this are going to actually help you to evaluate very well if it's what you're coming to that particular country or even to the African continent at large. Some people that I see, they don't really do this adequate research. They just hop on because somebody told them that, oh, this person, I succeeded in Africa, and then they just jump on it and they come to Africa. It's not done. You can't do things like that. If an African is actually deciding to go to America, there are some research that that African is supposed to do. And this is because that particular person has never lived or has not really lived in America. So you don't expect things to just walk on like that right for you as soon as you just land. So this is one thing that you should know. You should know that you've never lived in Africa before and that you need to do an adequate research to really know what the place is like so that you will know if it's something that you can actually deal with. Number two reason why I see African American leaving Africa after a period of time of them being in Africa is the fact that they do not have a plan or even a plan B to cover up with the first plan. Now, you guys, you cannot go to a place you've never been before or a place where you just heard about without having a plan. What is your plan? Why are you going to that place? Are you going there for research? Are you going there for tourism? Are you going there to actually live long term? Are you going there to study? And all of those things. These are the things that you should put in your plan, because with this plan, it's going to help you to analyze how much you need, where you are supposed to go and live, depending on the reason why you are coming, what you are going to give, what are the things you stand to lose, what are the things you stand to gain, and all of those things. So please have a plan and make sure you have a plan B to back up the plan, because if, for example, the plans that you have didn't work out while you are already here in Africa, what is going to be your next step? That is your plan B. So make sure that you have a plan and make sure you have a plan B to back up the plan so that you don't end up going back and having so many negative comments about the continent of Africa. Three reasons I see that is making a lot of African Americans move back to America after actually living in Africa for a while is the fact that they have high expectations about Africa. Now, just like I said before, Africa is a continent that is still growing, okay, that is still in its baby state. You do not expect a baby to start doing some adult things, okay? So that is some of the assumptions, that is some of the things that people or African Americans have in their heads when they come to Africa. They just believe that it has to be the way it is back in their home country. It is not going to be like that. That is why I was talking about research. If you research, you will know that there are some technologies that are not working here. You will know that there are some standard of life that are not working here. You will know that there are some costs of living that may be more than you expect. Just like some persons will move down from like America down to Africa, they will feel like, or somebody told them that, oh, cost of living here is quite cheaper. You didn't know the plan the person is planning, or the plan that that person had. You don't know how that person is actually affording what he or she is living, or the cost that he or she is living with. You just heard that somebody said cost of living is cheaper in Africa, and then you just packed your bags and then you came to Africa. Now you should know that the cost of living is going to vary from one individual to another individual because of your taste, your personality, what you like, and everything. If you need the standard of living just like it is in your home country here in Africa, then you have to be ready to pay more. Okay, so the high expectations is what is making some African Americans, when they get to Africa, they tend to go back to America because they did not see it coming that it's going to be like what they are seeing right now. Is actually not even up to their expectations, not talk about exceeding it. So most of these things is you need to do your research and actually understand the continent and understand the country in Africa particularly that you are going to. Do not come with high expectations. Do not come hoping that you are going to meet some things that are working in America here in Africa. It may not turn out like that for you, so that you will not be disappointed. The fourth thing I see that is making African Americans to move back to America after living in Africa for a while is the fact that they have the inability to actually adapt to the African continent. Now, just like what I've said previously, there are some things that happen here in Africa, or there is a way of life here in Africa that you should know, okay, before you move here, so that you'll be able to just flow in. You are not expected to, live the way you were living in America here in Africa, because it is two different continents, you guys, and you are going to need to adapt. You will need to live the way the people are living. That is the way you can also get to feel the continent the more. That is where you can get to feel the country the more. So the inability for them to adapt, probably you have like running water in your apartment, for example. Of course, there are running water in apartments here in Africa, okay, and let's say you didn't find running waters in your apartment here in Africa, and then you just tend to be like, oh no, this is not for me, I'm going back, blah blah blah, and all of that. You should know that the conditions are going to be different. That is why I asked you if you have a plan. What if this did not work out? Okay, what are you trying to do? What are those things that you are putting in your head to expect? What are those expectations that you have in your head? What if they did not come out as planned? If you are not ready to adapt to the system, it's going to be very difficult for you. It's just like an African that is moving abroad or that is going to America. If he is not ready to adapt to the American system, then he will not be able to, live in that particular place or in America. Okay, you guys, so you need to be able to learn how to adapt, and this is going to help you to be able to navigate the country very well, or navigate the African continent very well, just so you know that the two places have different experiences. So it's also going to help you to have like a different experience entirely, which is not also going to make you feel disappointed when whatever you have in your head is not actually what it is in real life. So with that being said, this is like a tip for me to every African American that is thinking of moving to Africa to either leave, relocate, or to come for a tour and all of that. First of all, I will tell you to actually do your research. Know what this African continent is about. Know what the country that you're going to is about. Know how their economy works. Know what they do as an economic activity. Know how the country has failed in the past and the possibility of that country failing in the future. Okay, know how the security works in the country, so that you don't come here and feel like it is not giving you what you want. Okay, so if you do your research very well, you get yourself to a better African country that will meet that expectations for you. Number two, I would advise you to come on a tour or on a vacation many times as possible. You can come live for a period of like 3 months, okay, so that you can get to know the place better, go back, come back again, get to know the place better, and then ask yourself if this is what you want to actually do. Then if you see that this is something that you can do, then you can go ahead and fully relocate. But do not fully relocate when you don't understand the place from your own experience firsthand. It is very important, you guys. Another thing is to try as much as possible to adapt to the system in Africa. Some of the things that are working in America may not be working here. So you need to know how to, navigate that, how to go about that, how to do it the way the people are doing it. It is going to help you. It can be quite difficult, but it is definitely going to help you to make your stay here in Africa worthwhile. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please, if it is, do not forget to give this video a like. Do not forget to also subscribe to the channel, because I'll be coming back with helpful tips like this to make your journey here in Africa swift and beautiful and helpful for you to stay. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. If you have any questions or anything, leave it in the comment section and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.